following program is intended for mature audiences.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Welcome, human. I am ready for you.
We show onboard computer synchronization.
Roger that.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Let's rock! Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
That's the fact, Jack!
Back off, man. I'm a scientist. Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Yeah, I know that, dude.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Sure. That monkey's my fly out of my butt.
Oh, my heart just stopped. Ah, there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We needed something mono.
Oh yeah, that's right, monorific.
And I happen to have Bob Dylan in mono, so
I guess
this is the monorific.
How would you tell?
edition.
He was like, because let's see if I can do my Bob Dylan. Not quite like that, but close.
Hey! Well, no. The last time I tried to sing this song, I got told to shut up by Kristen live on the air.
Oh
so
well, then that shit. Then that got real there for a second. That's exactly.
Yeah, I don't
what
try
that
to.
is.
I don't try to sing like Bob Dylan anymore.
Okay,
Apparently,
that's true. By the way, it is Sunday. The what is it? 4:15 of the 2018, right?
yes, yes.
April 15th. Hey, wait a second. Doesn't something happen today? Isn't this an important day?
No. I think.
Isn't this a day?
Well,
in this a day you're supposed to have if you're.
oh, I've already got my refunds. I'm set.
Oh, okay. If you're certain
I got a
people
guy that does that
whose
for me.
name starts with Van and ends with Innocent, you're probably not worried about today. But and I think they actually give you an extra day since the 15th falls on a Sunday. If I'm
Right.
or
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Which means that's a whole extra day. My dad gets to lose hair
To
So,
chill. He gets to not
just
chill on
loves
Sundays. So let's get first things first out of the way. First of all, Johnny sucks because he's got beer. Dune does not. Dune is rocking the Mountain Dew today. Johnny,
No, it's okay. It's hoppy. So
well, and there's a
does
reason.
that make you feel better?
There's a reason why. If things look a little different, it's because Dune is no longer in Kansas. Whoa, there.
And aren't
Bring
you
on the
glad
world.
you are in Kansas right now?
Yeah, because it's like 30 degrees in Kansas for some.
I
crazy
saw
reason.
a map. I saw a map that had like fire in Arizona and blizzard north of that and something else to the east of that, and they all converged in Kansas.
Yes, it's like
on
right
Dune's
there.
house.
It's right there. Yeah,
So your house is freezing and on fire.
I've
and
lost.
being blown
I've
out
lost.
by tornadoes.
Yes, I've lost shingles. I've lost shingles again. Everything. Hey, DeHias is in the room. DeHias, I don't have Skype up. We'll get it up here
No,
shortly.
but I do.
Oh, Skype.
I do.
Okay, Johnny has Skype up. Yeah, here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal, people. I am not in Kansas. I'm in California. So that's what's going on. I'm actually in a hotel room. So hang on tight. We'll hope the bandwidth holds out. I never thought there would be.
and Gators.
I'm guessing for whatever reason, it seems like there's not enough people using the bandwidth here. So don't tell anybody.
We are both in different locations from where we broadcast in the past.
That's true. You know what? I never thought about this. This is the first show that you and I have done together in a few weeks, and neither one of us are where we were. Does that make sense?
You froze. I don't know if I froze or not.
Am I here? I'm moving. You didn't
You're
freeze.
here. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are all in different places, but I'm in a permanent different place.
Yeah, mine's
And
I'm hoping
I
this
now
isn't permanent.
own the place I'm broadcasting from.
Johnny's finally got his own place that does not
Yeah.
have wheels on it, by the way, for you people out there
Yes.
wondering.
And in 30 years, I'll be done paying for it.
That's right. In 30 easy payment. No, wait, not 30. 30 times
30 times
12.
12.
Easy payments. That's right. You know,
In 360 easy payments.
You know, let me tell you a story that'll make you feel better. This will ease your pain for Johnny and anybody else that they're buying a house. And the story is, I was maybe 15, 16 years old. I was later years of junior high, right, going into high school. And I remember I think I was in. Actually, I think I was in junior high, so I was probably closer to 14. And I went to the bank with my dad, and my dad was writing a check to the credit union for the house, and turned and told me, he said, "This is the last check I ever have to write for this house."
Except for the taxes.
Well, yeah, well, for the payment. and when I looked at it, it was like $100. And I was going like, wow, that's a great house payment. That's a smoking house payment. Well,
how do I get that deal?
Well, yes, it was, but he bought the house in 1956 or something like that. So then it was, they could barely afford that. I mean, that's the whole thing. So what I'm telling you is 29 and a half years from now, you're going to look at your house payment and go like, this is nothing. You're right. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, who knows what the economy is going to do in the next 30 years?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
There is that.
We could be using, some weird named economy we don't know about.
But it
hopefully not. But anyway, I thought that was interesting, though, because it was
interesting.
Looking at that, I was like, wow, that was a big difference. Big difference. But anyway,
yeah.
I'm so proud of Johnny. He's got a house. He, you can't hardly see it, but there's actually a TV hanging on the wall that he did by himself. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
It only took 3 failed attempts to hit the stud.
3 attempts. And you know what's cool? There we are. There's Dune.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, because I'm mirroring my main screen over there, and because I got the futon over there that needs a new cover, which will be green screen green.
I got this. This is awesome. You got green screen green, so that means you can make them sitting on anything you want.
See,
I used to have my stereo funny here.
Insert funny here, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. And
now,
they can watch the show, be a part of it. Great.
Now here's the thing. This is the same angle that you always got at Gator's. Gator's head on, sitting at his desk towards a door.
Yes.
And what you used to see behind me were my 2 back speakers. That would have been my rear left speaker, if I could get my finger on it.
Yeah,
wait, that would have been
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rear left and rear right is because I set up my stereo so that I could sit at my computer and get my sound, and that's not how this room is set up. Because typically I use headphones at my desk, and now I have a futon and a TV mounted on the wall, and so that right there is my front right speaker, and that over there is my rear right speaker, and my front left speaker is over there, and my rear left speaker is behind the turntable. My stereo rack is over here for ease of reach from the futon. So now I could sit at the futon, watch stuff on the screen, and listen to quadraphonic sound. And the Dune and Bob Show.
Or the 5-hit, which wasn't on last night, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Strange story. It actually was on last night. Chris from Heat FM was nice enough to put on a repeat, and he does like I do. It's like when Jonny and I don't do a show, I usually, if I put a repeat on, I try to go back a year and grab something, or go back a year or 2 years or whatever, but close to the same month, because I always think that was interesting. So what he did is he went back and pulled the show from about a year ago, and it was really fun because I went to see my sister, and then got to listen to myself while I was at my sister's house, which was kind of weird.
Now, is this another relative that you've met for the first time?
This is a sister I met for the very first time. Yes, that lives in Sacramento. So about an hour drive from where I'm at here, so that worked out good.
Did you sit down and have a lovely discussion of politics, or I'm guessing not?
Well, absolutely we do, because that's the interesting thing is everybody that actually came from my bloodline thinks the same way I do. So
you're saying that,
there you go.
That it's like a hereditary disease of some sort?
I'm guessing so. I will show you this just for the people out there.
That is fascinating, actually.
Let me bring up a larger picture. I wanted to show you what I've been passing around everywhere in California I've been able to. I've been trying to pass as many of these as possible. I thought Johnny would like this.
No.
So if you're in California and you happen to find one of these bad boys, this guy. So
doesn't he spend most of his time in Trump Tower, though? I think he would rather not live there. Isn't that one of the...
When he's done living there, he'll leave. That's usually the way it works. When they're done, they'll leave.
Date to be determined.
Date to be determined. That's right. No guessing here. Oh, I got this too. I can always do for the people out there watching the screen. Ooh, psychedelic Dune, just in case, because I'm in California. See, Johnny could have had. Johnny's got the beer. I can't because I like to keep my job. Little things like that.
You're not working right now. You can bring beer to the hotel room.
Oh, no, beer. All the beer I want. I'm talking about those other places that have a 4, 2, and a 0 on the door in California.
Okay.
You know I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Those places.
Those places, yeah. Which I'm not sure.
Highest knows.
The highest. He's not here right now.
However you say it's wrong, so I'm going to stop repeating you.
Yeah, it's the highest. Or high. This is
the highs because he's high.
Yeah. Well, and he got mad because we didn't have the Skype on. So, and I told him we did. But anyway,
no, wait, we have Skype. I've had Skype. Is it not coming through?
No, he didn't even try it. He didn't try it.
Oh.
Otherwise, so if you'd like to Skype NHP Live for Skype, hey Warhawk, do me a favor, tweet something to @NHP Radio so I can get that off the screen. Right there, please. Here, let's go back to the worldview. The worldview. But no, it's been what, 2 weeks, I think. I'm glad we got to do the show this week because I was really worried we weren't going to. Because I thought, if nothing else, Johnny could have drove and I could have been on my iPad or whatever. I really didn't expect any of this to work. And what's really scary is it seems to be working pretty damn well. And so,
yeah.
Which kind of makes me wonder.
Which means just as soon as we get into some good content, it's going to crash horribly.
And I'm using a laptop, by the way, instead of, my expensive computer at home. And it's like, wow, that I spend a lot of money on maybe nothing. So
we should talk about. Should we talk about mounting TVs to walls, moving?
No, I think so. We didn't get to hear about the whole moving thing because it was if I had to put it in a nutshell, it was.
I'm still moving.
You were getting ready to move, but the car wouldn't move.
Right.
And then we figured out the car needed transmission to move, or transmission fluid. We got that.
It needed about 6 quarts of that.
Yeah, which crazy stuff. If you don't have transmission fluid, we found out Johnny's car don't move. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I know it's
it'll
crazy.
Rev,
just
and then it'll burp. Yeah. Have you ever seen a car burp?
Yes.
I have.
Yes, Johnny's car burps. Yes, the Taurus burped out front.
We didn't talk about this at all yet on the air, have we?
No, we did not. We did not talk about the burping car. No, I figure we might as well start.
Dude gets a call one night.
We got to see. Yeah, I know when I get the call late at night, it's like there's something important because Johnny's calling.
I think the last thing we talked about was the battery people. And the Better Business Bureau decided to close the case as customer not satisfied, but they responded accordingly. And so the Better Business Bureau is good for nothing because, as far as they're concerned,
they're on the payroll. They're on the come on. That's some bull crap.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. And there's no way I was taking another one of that. Now Emily says it's my fault for leaving a battery connected without a trickle charger in a car.
Well,
and she's called me an idiot multiple times, but she normally calls me an idiot, so it's not really different from any other day.
Would be in a perfect world if you had a battery tender on there. That would be the perfect thing. Most cars,
but the new battery die connected to a car sitting outdoors over winter.
To have it go as my Australian friend here says, go flat. That's because I have an Australian person here.
And bad cell and won't hold a charge no more.
To have it go flat because it's being drained is one thing, but to have it kill a cell is completely different. That seems to make it.
See,
that
Emily tells
goes
me
to a
that
whole new level.
See, Emily, having a friend like Emily is very interesting. She comes.
Yeah, we need to
Armageddon
talk.
show.
Write down that we need to talk about her too, after we get later done.
No, because she grew up with a very different upbringing than me, and a
Would
very
she-
different
would she be
social
listening, by the way?
hierarchy than me. No,
Okay.
she doesn't listen to this.
Okay, we're good. Then. We're good. We're good.
No, I'm
Go
not
ahead.
talking shit about her.
Oh
But
no,
one of the
no,
things is that-
there's no shit talking getting ready to happen.
No,
Dune's getting ready to get a little creepy. We'll hold that till it. So
No, but one of the things that Emily's pointed out is that, like, to put it bluntly, she like grew up like poor, and I grew up like not poor.
Okay,
and,
Johnny,
and she likes to
Johnny,
point out the
Johnny,
differences in that.
Johnny, I got to stop you for a second.
What?
Can you do me a favor?
Okay. Yeah.
This is NHB Radio, right?
Right.
And part of NHB Radio is being on NHB Radio.
Okay.
Guess what? The one thing I forgot to do for this
You
show.
forgot to be on NHB Radio?
I forgot to be on NHB Radio. I don't. Even
I asked
have,
you if
I,
you needed me.
I don't even have this software to be
I
on
asked
NHB
you,
Radio.
do you need me to stream us?
I was.
No, I got it
this
covered.
is-
I got
this-
it all
This
covered.
this is such a problem. Can you please? Oh wow. I just,
Hold on a second. I need to bring up the messenger client.
why did he do that? Who? Oh,
Why did who do what?
damn it! We are live. Links at here we go. www.the5hit.com.
I think derailment's logged in right now.
NHB. Oh, was Warhawk? Oh, Warhawk is restreaming us.
Oh, okay.
Warhawk
All right.
is restreaming us. Thank you, Warhawk.
Thank you, Warhawk.
Thank you, Warhawk. I just. You know what? They say you can't make this up.
I specifically asked. So Emily basically said to me, I don't know anything about owning cars that I don't move for long periods of time because I didn't grow up with that type of a household that would have a car sit for a long period of time. I don't know what I'm doing. And that it was my fault that I killed 2 brand new batteries in a sitting car because I didn't get a trickle charger, because any idiot would tell you, if you're going to have the car sit for a while, get a trickle charger on. It's one thing you got to do. And so as far as she was concerned, it was my fault. And I don't,
I got you.
And I don't want to discredit her, because then when I say it's still, why does that keep coming up?
Somebody likes to tweet about a certain show and tag NHB Radio, and they're also tagging it with a huge picture, and I forgot to turn the picture part off. So
that's someone else that's doing that.
That's somebody
and they figured
else
out they
doing
can
it.
do that.
Well, I don't think they figured out they can do that. They just do it, and because they do it on every Sunday.
When it's happened 5 times, they figured out they could do it.
No, I don't know. Okay, maybe they did. Maybe they did. Yes, I can figure it out. I'm not going to mess with it right now. But thank you for restreaming, by the way. For the people on NHB that have missed the first part of the show, we were talking about TFing. Johnny calls it TF.
I'm supposed to actually say titty fucking now?
Yes, you're supposed to say it, because I don't say it.
You're in a hotel room. That's where titty fucking takes place. You can't say it?
I was not aware of this. Why wasn't I told?
You know what people do in hotel rooms, right? Have you turned the black light on in there yet?
Absolutely. Let me turn the black light on right now. Here's the black. Oh my God. oh my God. This is horrible. Wow. This is bad. Ooh. Get the gloves out. No, you're actually right. I noticed
tweeted the picture to H3 Radio and it's not popped up. Did you actually disable that?
No, it did. I did turn here. There we go. We'll put it back on. Oop, nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. No, it's bringing up the last 3 is what it's doing. I can fix that.
But it hasn't. I was going to try to make it randomly bring up pictures, and then I was going to take advantage of that.
Oh well, then you go right ahead.
I already did. Oh, there it is.
There it is. There you go.
So this is the person that's giving me car advice.
Yes.
And telling me I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so for anybody who would like to bring up oh wait, you know what? I should not say if anybody wants to put a picture up here because Beanie Loco might be listening.
Let's talk about Beanie Loco.
This could go so bad so fast.
I had to mute Beanie Loco when I'm at work.
I'm gonna leave this up for now because what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? This could go so bad. A stinky Pikachu. I don't know if that's stinky.
No,
I don't think that's the case.
It's a big Pikachu.
It's rather large. It's rather large. Yes. Anyway, go ahead. So the car. And
that's what she's basically telling me that I don't know. Being from the upbringing I am, I don't know about having cars sit for a long period of time and how to properly condition them to not move. And so it's my fault that I didn't put a trickle charge on the battery because any idiot will tell you, hey, if it ain't going to move for a while, put a trickle charger on it.
Exactly. I have to wonder if there's... I keep hearing noises behind me, and I see feet walking past the door, and I wonder if people are enjoying the show through the door. It's a possibility. Would you guys like to... No, I shouldn't say would you like to be on the show because they might say yes. They might say
we
yes.
got a new battery in the car, and we got the car to start. And I got the neighbors downstairs to all, hey, we're moving the car out into the street so that I can, get it inspected and get a good, pass sticker on there. And so they come out, they, start up the revving truck, and wouldn't you know it, the truck not only does it rev, it moves. And so they cleared it out, and I'm there. I start my car up, and I rev, and it's revving. I go into drive, and I rev, and I'm revving and not moving.
There's revving going, but no moving going.
And I rev more, and it doesn't move. And it's just like, and every now and then I can get it to stutter forward a little bit. But mind you, I'm parked in an angle that my the side mirror that I replaced is perfectly lined up with a fence post. So if I lurch forward too much, I'm going to take off the brand new mirror I just put on.
Yeah, this does not sound like what you want to have happen.
I want to move slowly. I want to slowly move, and it won't slowly move.
Yeah, this is maybe not what we want to do.
I'm like, oh, man, the transmission's dead. It's time to get someone to take this heap of junk away. So the guy comes over and he goes, well, did you check transmission fluid? The guy who moved the truck. And I know he works on the truck every weekend because you hear it revving every weekend. So surely this means he knows something about, vehicles. And so he's like, check. So I checked the transmission fluid, and it's bone dry. And I've never checked transmission fluid before, but I know enough to know that you want the car running when you check it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to run down to the auto parts store that didn't screw me over the battery, and I'm going to buy a bunch of transmission fluid from them. And they have all these big jugs that come with 5 quarts. Of course, the 5-quart jugs don't come in the right type for my car because there's not just one type of transmission fluid. There's 5 different types of transmission fluids, and figuring out which one is the right one for your car is there's a specific kind, and I found that I can only get it in 1-quart jugs. And so I picked up 3 of them, and I figured 3 quarts ought to do it because, how many quarts of oil does a car hold? 5? So how many quarts of transmission fluid could it hold? Surely 3 will be enough to fill this thing up.
Surely.
Surely. This shows how much I know. Now, here's what I know about oil. I know that the dipstick is where you check the oil. It's not where you put the oil in. There's a nice big opening to easily pour oil in.
Yes.
And you'd expect the transmission fluid to be the same way.
It usually has oil here. Well, You would, yes.
It's the 710 cap. You take off the 710 cap and put it in the oil.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's exactly right. For people who don't know what we're talking about, Google it. That's all we'll say.
Just look at it upside down.
Yeah.
It's the 710 cap.
I think it's usually attached to a blonde joke. Don't email me and say anything. I'm just telling you. I'm just reporting the news.
Hey, I ain't blonde, and I might ask for a 710 cap.
I'm not making the news. That's right.
Anyways, so
back to the show.
So I can't find any place but the transmission fluid, and I'm like, there's just no way in hell they expect me to pour it in that little opening. And I Google it, and sure enough, yes, they do expect you to pour it into that little opening. And at this point, the auto shop, like, they closed like 5 minutes ago, so I'm not going back there for a funnel. And they parked the truck out in the street, so they're going to move it back in tomorrow. So I finished drinking a bottle of seltzer, and I cut the bottom off of it, and there you go. Funnel.
Well, now keep in mind, in between all this, Johnny and I have been talking back and forth. I'm sending him pictures. I'm looking, we're doing all this stuff.
Well, no. This. I started messaging you after I put the first quart in.
Yes.
I because then I started asking Dune, because I put the first quart in and I still don't see anything on the stick, and I'm like, should I be seeing something on the stick? Should I see, or is it like invisible when it's on the stick? Like there's a little residue I'm wiping off, but I don't. I was. It's like, is that what I'm looking for? Is that not what I'm looking for? And what I'm doing is I'm running while I'm checking it, but I'm turning off the car to pour the transmission fluid in, because I'm like, do I leave the car running when I'm pouring it in, or do I not? I don't know. And so Dune, you're like, well, turn it off, pour it in, turn it on, shift into gear a few times, check the stick again, and just keep going. You'll see it. You should see it. You should know you see it. Okay. I pour the second quart in, and I start the car. After I poured the first quart in, the car started moving again. So I knew that I was in the right direction. But I still didn't have anything
You're
on my
moving in the
stick.
right direction, which is a good thing. That's right.
Right. Yeah, the car became mobile again. That doesn't mean you have enough transition fluid. It means you have just barely enough to move. Probably don't want to drive it like that. So,
I'm sorry.
By the way, here's the funny thing about it. I can't tell this whole story, but while the neighbor's moving the truck out of the driveway, so I can move the car out, I get a call from my brother, who lays a bombshell about a major life-changing moment that he could use someone to talk to at the moment. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awful. I need to move my car out to the street. Let me park the car and talk to you. Oh my God, my car won't move. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Which normally I would never do that.
Yeah, your brother's using his one and only phone call from prison right now.
No, it's not that. No, he was calling from my dad's place.
Ah, okay, I got you.
So, yeah. Anyways, so then it's like, let me call you in another 15 minutes. I'm going to the auto parts store to buy transmission fluid. So then I had to talk with him, and then we go out in this pitch black night, pouring transmission fluid in a half of a seltzer bottle into the dipstick hole. So 2 quarts in, it's not working. And it's working, but I'm getting nothing on the stick. And then I stop the car, and then all of a sudden I hear this glug 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 sound, and Kristen's like, "Whoa!" Because Kristen's out there holding the flashlight. And I come out, and sure enough, it's sputtering and spinning, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with the car? This is awful." So I call Dune back. And you're like, I don't know what could be making pressure like that. And we figured it probably sucked in air.
Well, I think that's
what
we figured out. It had basically somehow got an air bubble in there, and that's what had caused that. So
what I learned from this is that if you give the car a little gas and it doesn't move, the answer isn't to keep giving it more gas and rev it and rev it and rev it and rev it. So
the answer is to call a guy in Kansas. That's what you
call the guy in Kansas.
So trickle charger, call the guy in Kansas. That's what you do.
So here's the other thing I learned. You're probably better off leaving the car running while you're pouring the transmission fluid in, because then I pour the third quart in, and it doesn't go into the spot that it's supposed to go into while it's running. It goes into holding before it gets pulled in. So the third quart...
Yes, exactly.
The third quart filled up the dipstick holder right up to the rim with the brim. Remember the old coffee fill up to the rim with brim? That's
Yes.
Well, not only that, but it's like staying in my makeshift funnel, not moving. I'm like, get in there. At some point, it spilled out. So there was another halfway. So I probably spilled a quart of this stuff all over the place. That's got to be real good for the environment, right?
Of course. No, probably not.
So,
but
do you normally water your lawn with transmission fluid?
No,
But-
no, you know what? If there's a good to come out of it, there's probably never going to be any weeds grow where that poured. So you're probably okay.
Well, it's a patch the side of the house where dirt like driveway, so we don't want anything growing there.
No, so you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
I think
I'm good. Okay.
I think your grandfather did because it's an old car. I think that's the way. I think
So-
that's the way it works.
So I brought the car for inspection and told them, oh, by the way, it might need some transmission fluid. They had to put another 3 quarts in. They only had
I can't believe this thing moved. I cannot believe this car actually moved under its own power. That is so amazing.
You mean you can't believe it moved with being 3 quarts shy?
It doesn't take. I mean, it may take 8 to 9 quarts in the whole transmission. And I mean, you were just you were so low.
I started 6 quarts shy, and I brought it up to 3 quarts shy, and it started moving after the first quart, and then they had to fill it up with synthetic, and they apologized for that. They didn't give me a discount. They felt really bad about it.
We are so sorry. We're going to pop you for $6 a bottle. That's what we're charging.
We're so sorry. You failed inspection. You need like $350 worth of repair, and we charge you for synthetic transmission fluid that's going to keep leaking out because that stuff don't evaporate.
Have a nice day. That's true.
I took my failed inspection sticker and said, "See ya."
Yeah, thank you very much. But I'm now.
I think I found a solution to all my problems because 2 of the guys that live below the apartment I used to live in, one of them fixed up cars. So he and the other one's looking for a car that moves because this car is parked right next to a car that don't move. Which the guy.
Good point.
So he's like, so the first guy's like, "Hey, buy the part, throw me a few bucks, I'll put it in, and then talk to the other guy because he's looking for any car that moves." And I'm like, "This car qualifies. It moves."
Okay, Johnny. I'd like you to see this now. Not that.
Okay.
Not that.
Not that.
Not that. So here we go.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's the Armageddon show.
It's back.
Mm-hmm.
There. No, I'm just letting you know.
Then,
yeah.
Oh, so they're still doing it.
So here, I'll tweet something.
Okay.
And I'll see if my picture will show up. It'll actually show up with this one too. So
that brings us up to date on pre-move stuff.
Yes.
The move was, Gothard came into town with a pickup truck, and we moved the hell out of furniture. And so we got the beds here. We got everything up the stairwell. The queen-size mattress was a little bit of a struggle. We had to do a little bit of finagling and bending and move and squeeze it step by step, but we got it up on the 2nd floor. I'm thinking that the next time I move, it's time to buy a new mattress because we'll be cutting this one in half.
This one's going out the hard way, or easy way, actually. Yeah. What you're saying?
That one's going out the window. That's
right.
But yeah, we got all the furniture moved in. We got all the radios moved in, and we got a big bulk of stuff. And I figured out how to pack boxes with way too many records to be able to move them. And I got 6 of those boxes moved over here, and now I'm just bringing the records over a few bins at a time in the Rubbermaid bins I have. And I've managed to get the record collection up to, I think I'm up to the Supremes at this point. No, actually, that's not true. I'm up to the Supremes in the record shelf. I'm up to Barry White, including records that are still downstairs. And I got one of the 2 shelves moved over, and it's in a different room. I have a room strictly for storing stuff because it's a 4-bedroom house, and I really only need 3.
So now you have all the stuff you want. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? I learned something today. I learned that I should have thrown out a lot of shit in California because I brought over. You know those boxes that you just move place to place?
Yes, I know those boxes well. I absolutely know those boxes.
when I was living in Oakland. Now, I've built my own computers, and every time I, rebuild, my computer's kind of like that axe that's been in the family for generation that's on its third handle and its fourth head. I mean, I got the same case, but, I keep upgrading parts, and it's really a completely different computer from what I started with in this case. I've been through a few motherboards and processors, and there's nothing original except for this case at this point. And I always kept the spare parts in case something died. That way I had something to throw in. And at some point when I was living in Oakland, I brought home some, file storage boxes from Tharco, because one of the advantages of working for a box manufacturing company is you get all the free boxes you want for free.
That's just crazy. That's just crazy talk, but that's true. That makes sense. That makes total sense.
And so I started needing to store stuff. And so I brought home 2 of these file boxes, and I labeled one computer parts. I labeled one audio stuff. And so any spare audio cables, speaker cables, patch cables, headphones, I threw in the one box. And all the spare computer parts, power supplies, power cables, mice, whatever, I threw in the other box. Well, these boxes, got taped up and moved to Hayward and put in bedroom closet there. And then they got retaped up and moved across the country to Maine and stored there. And then they got moved down here. And now today I moved the computer part box along with a few other boxes. There was a box that I packed up all the stuff from my desk at Tharco when I left there. And then I brought it home. And I threw some more stuff in it. And then I brought it here.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Did you use the method where you held it in your hand and says, "Does this bring me joy?"
No.
Okay, I just was wondering because that was a thing for a while. Remember that? Don't forget, that was a thing.
Well, I mean, Dune, if you held a hard drive in your hand that held backup contents for your show archive that you could theoretically plug in and spin up in the event that your tower went up in a fiery blaze. Does that bring you joy? No, but you're going to hold on to it because it might bring you joy the day you lose.
Okay, that makes sense. I've got you.
Not everything that you need to hold on to brings you joy.
That's not bringing me joy. Speaking of bringing you joy, I think you might remember this tweet.
Oh, yes. Thank you, dude.
This tweet was an interesting tweet.
You've still not answered the most important question about that tweet. How did you find that?
So, it didn't bring me joy, but I kept the hard drive anyway, is what Okay, for the people watching the
how
stream.
How do you find a sex swing?
Okay, listen, this is what happened. This is what's kind of funny. Dune lives in Wichita, Kansas, which I don't know what that means other than it's in the middle of the country. Facebook has different places that have things for sale. There's one that happens to be, there's different Wichita sites that are like garage sale sites. And I am subscribed to several of them because sometimes cool things come up. It just so happened this came up. And
Sexy swing set.
Yes, sexy swing set caught my attention. And I was like, OMG, that is what I think it is. Now, the first thing you would say is, what do you do when you see something like that, Johnny? What would go through your mind if, okay, so I see this now.
What goes through my mind is whoever buys that is an idiot because there's no amount of sterilization in the world that would make me feel good about planting my naked butt on that.
Okay, but keep going. You're not going to buy. That's one thing you might think about. The next thing you might think about is who is selling this?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go and check out this person's profile just to see.
See, not
that Dune did that.
Lead different.
Not that Dune did that.
No, well,
not that Dune did that. Dune would never have went. He would never have went and looked at the profile. Never. He wouldn't do that. That would be the wrong thing for the people on the radio station.
But if Dune did look at the profile, what would he have found?
Dune didn't look at the profile.
But Dune, if you did look at the profile, what would you have found?
What I wouldn't have found was fairly attractive female that I wouldn't have seen because I didn't look.
That you are not right now picturing using said swing set.
I never said that. I never said that. Now here's where it gets weird. Okay, here's where it gets weird. Because I saw this and I tweeted it, I thought, well, I'll also Facebook this. I put this out on Facebook, and a mutual friend of Johnny's and mine replied to it. And I wish I could remember verbatim. Would it be hard for you to find that post? It probably, yeah, I don't know how I would find that. But our mutual friend that doesn't live in this neck of the woods, more on the, like, I'm pointing on the map, right over.
I can't find a reply to this tweet.
It's not the tweet. It's on the.
I found the original tweet.
It's the Facebook. It's the Facebook.
Posting. Oh, you mean
because
you mean our mechanic friend?
Yes, our mechanic friend.
Who knows all about trickle chargers?
That knows about trickle chargers and Pikachus.
Yes,
had said some things that kind of made Dune go, And I'm just
you've not even scratched the surface.
Well, it did. It made me go, and I wish you could find it because it was it. And maybe I'm seeing into this wrong, but I was sitting there going like, you think you know somebody, you know?
Oh, you have no idea.
And then this is where it got weird. This same person, after, writing this, and I'm just sitting there going like, wow. So now I have pictures in my head of the swing set, and we'll just never mind. This same person, for whatever reason,
referred another friend.
No. This same person, for whatever reason, feels the need to post a picture of themselves at like 14 years old. Why would you do that?
I could explain that.
Why would you do that?
I actually know the answer to that question.
It wasn't weird, and then it got weird, and it's just one of those things.
I don't know how much of the story I can tell or can't tell. But yeah, I did find Emily's post about the sexy swing set. Damn, only $300. The weirdest stuff comes up on those Facebook buy-sell groups, doesn't it, dude? Yep, totally just found it in the local community sale group.
Well, I just like that, that she was obviously saying that $300 is like a bargain. This is something that if it was like free shipping to wherever that place might be.
Here's the thing. Emily and I are pretty close. Emily and I talk a lot, and Emily and I drink together a lot.
Yes.
And, so we...
Sorry, I hear voices
and
again.
Okay. And I guess I could talk a little bit about this, but back when Emily was a co-host on the Amateur Hour, she might have had a little crush on me at the time. And, so, there's kind of the question, well... and it's kind of question, well, what do you feel about me? And I'm like, well, you sent me a picture of you in a bathing suit where you're this little girl on the beach. I mean, no, of course not, because you were this child. I mean, and so she was going through her photos and she found the picture. And that is why she posted that picture.
So you know what? So it didn't just creep Dune out.
No, it creeped me out too.
Okay, you know what, Johnny? There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Now I feel better. Okay. So it was one of those things. It's hard to explain it.
It was because that was the thing is that now we're both adults. There's still an age gap, but back then, she was a child, and yes. When I try to explain it, because she's like, oh, what? I wasn't that much. I'm like, you were 14 or 15, all I see when you send me a picture of you is a 15-year-old, a child.
Which is actually very odd for somebody on the Dune and Bob Show, because usually the other John on the Dune and Bob Show would have no problem with this whatsoever.
Well, there's a big difference between 15 and 17.
Yeah,
that is the longest 2 years.
Well, the old John from the Dune and Bob Show, probably not so much. Just throwing that out there. Just letting
he's the type of guy,
just letting that sit on the stove and burn for a while. That's what we're going to do.
To quote Steve Martin, he's the type of guy that goes to the department to the mall during the Christmas season and sees a 15-year-old girl sitting on Santa's lap and thinks, maybe I could be a department store Santa.
I'm not going to speak for John, but
laying a little groundwork, know.
Hey, that's true. Hey, I just realized I got this. I got my. I was doing my testing. I was doing my testing earlier, and it still works. It's still up doing its thing. Isn't that funny? You know what? I haven't talked to John in a long time.
You haven't talked to him?
I have not talked to him in a long time. We kind of, I said we parted ways. I mean, there's no bad blood or anything, but just he's busy. He's got like 2 or 3 kids now, and
hopefully they're not getting the B-15.
No, he did. I don't mean he has kids that way. I mean he has his once child bride.
Yet, what Johnny had to specify.
That's
what
true.
You mean by having kids.
I see that. I see the problem now. I should have. You're exactly right. You are totally right. But no, because I'm trying to think what the age gap.
Because there's having kids and there's having kids.
Because I think when he married his wife, she was 18 or 19. I think she was maybe 19 years old. And he was older. Just leave it at that. But actually, but it's worked out well. They've been together this whole time, so it turned out well. And they got, like I said, they have 2 or 3 kids. I'm not sure exactly how many now. So.
Oh wow.
And one of them is a girl, and she will be 15 one time, and then John's going to be the guy.
And John's going to keep her away from all the guys like him.
She's going to be locked in the house until she turns 27. Is what's going to happen.
Because he knows what's happening.
That's right. He knows
guys like him.
He knows there's some other guy just like him walking around up there. You go. So, but no, we'll have to see what happens. But I thought that was interesting that first of all that there's a swinger, no pun intended, yes pun intended, in Kansas. That and you have to kind of wonder too, what makes you buy a, what was it called, sexy swing set?
Sexy swing set.
What makes you buy the sexy swing set and then decide you don't want the sexy swing set anymore?
Well, you know, you need $300. You need $300. You know, you start looking around. What's got value around here? You know,
that's true. That's true. Got to keep the washer. Got to keep the dryer.
Yeah, which I own. I now own a washer and dryer.
Did you buy a washer and dryer now? I'm sorry.
I bought it from a guy that drove up in a truck and delivered. I went on to Craigslist looking for the cheapest washer and electric dryer I could find.
And you found a guy.
I found a guy that for $250 would deliver them. And
awesome.
Sure enough, he showed up in a pickup truck with a washer and dryer in the back and a dolly. And I helped him get him off the truck onto the dolly. We wheeled him down the back door into the basement, and had everything I needed to set it up, and gave him the cash. And he went off, and I was like, "Oh dear, I hope these work." And sure enough, they do.
That was nice of you. Well, now I have to think now, because you had a washer. Don't make fun of the way I said that. You
wash.
Even our good friend Sloan was nice enough to refer to that, and I had to tweet back and say I wash my clothes all the time, and had to spell it that way for him. So anyway, but yeah, you had the washer. I can't even say it. Washer.
And speaking of washers. So it came with water hoses for the washer, but it did not come with the ductwork for the dryer. But that's okay. The house came with ductwork for the dryer. Actually, in the basement was a piece of dryer duct just hanging out on the floor there,
just waiting, waiting for you.
Waited with the screw tight things on the ends, All I need to do is get some aluminum tape to tape it up to the duct that was just stuffed with insulation. So I took the insulation out of there, put it on there, taped it up, tightened it onto there. First thing I did was I hooked up the water hoses to the washer, turned on the water, and one hose was great. The other hose started spraying water off the end because it was missing a washer.
Wait. Let me see. The washer was just a washer hose. That's just funny.
The washer hose was missing a rubber washer.
Yes.
That
that will tend to do that. Yes.
You can buy a pack of them for 99 cents, and
I have to laugh that you actually used. See, that's the difference between. I would never. Did the hoses come with the washing machine, or did they come with the house?
No, they came with the washing machine.
Okay, were they in good shape? Because normally I would go. Normally go buy brand new braided ones. I just don't trust. I don't trust them.
These are braided, and they looked fine.
Okay, if they are braided, then that's at least better. Okay.
Yeah.
But no washer. No washer.
And
how come I can say washer if it goes in the hose, but you wash your clothes? Why does that work?
You wash your clothes, and you get a washer for the hose that you hook up to the washer.
To the washer.
Yes.
Wow.
So I don't know, because you're weird. That's why.
Thank you. That's fine. That's what I was searching for today. Hey, I'm in California. I fit right in. Trust me, I fit right in there. That's the nice thing about it. So you bought a gross of washers? Did you?
Yeah, you buy a packet of them for 99 cents and a roll of aluminum tape and the tape of the ductwork. So now I can do my own laundry whenever I want to, and I don't have to put quarters in the thing. I
realize you've been to Home Depot more times in the last month than you've probably been in your whole life. Either one.
Yes. Yes.
My friend that you happen to know, a good friend of mine owns a lot of rental property, and his son growing up always referred to Lowe's and Home Depot as either the orange or the blue house parts store. is what he referred to. So if you're going to the Lowe's, you're going to the blue house parts store. If you're going to Home Depot, the orange house parts store. There we go.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time, and I've learned the great thing about Lowe's. Now, if I walk into a Lowe's, because it used to be, if I'm going to go to a store, that first of all, I go to a store if I'm buying something that, in my mind, is basic and simple, and that the store is guaranteed to carry. And I found out that you can't do that with Lowe's.
Sometimes you can. Oh, but just real quick, Warhawk did say, "I'm in California, so the way you say I have to go wash my clothes is, dude." That's how you do it. That's how you do it in California. I know. I know it didn't translate on the radio, but trust me, it's what they do.
Hey, so that's their fault for not watching.
That's right,
dude. I'm watching on my big screen TV on the wall, and I'm hosting the show. What's your excuse?
Yeah, what's your excuse? You know what? You know what else is? That friend of ours whose name starts with a V and ends with Innocent. He's also watching. He's also watching because he's tweeting.
Hello, Venison.
That's right. I didn't get to hear his whole show. He tweeted some stuff about things getting weird. But anyway, so back to Home Depot that has everything.
Weird.
Home Depot Lowe's. No, Home Depot has everything, right?
Or no? They're both pretty much the same, but Lowe's is closer, and they don't have everything. But here's the other thing about Lowe's: you'd figure that aisles are labeled and it's laid out logically, and you can just kind of go to the right place and find what you need. And so I go to the plumbing area. I can't find the washers. I can't find the foil tape. I found out the great thing about Lowe's is their website will tell you what aisle and what section in that aisle, everything. So I basically go into a Lowe's, bring up the item on my phone, see what aisle, and walk right there, grab it, search for the next thing, go to that aisle, grab it. I actually shop by phone in a Lowe's.
No, you're not alone. I do the same thing, and so do friends. Yes, it's the absolute easiest way to do it. Because especially if you're wanting like a faucet or something like that. I mean, it'll tell you, what aisle, what row, which slot it's in, and stuff like that, and sometimes how many they should have. So,
and this is what shopping at a Lowe's is kind of sounds like.
Oh no, you did not go Tijuana Brass on me. You did, didn't you?
Yes, this is exactly what they play in Lowe's.
Hang on. Oh, here we go. Big clap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. This may be next week's Spy Hit show.
Oh, there you go.
This could be it.
Brassy?
Here,
It's going to be a brassy show?
Here, wait. Let's give this the full effect here. Oh, you turned it down. You killed it. Why don't I hear you? Why don't I hear Johnny? What happened? There we go.
I hear you.
Johnny's back. There we go. Here we go. Back to the. Oh, whenever I do that, it kills it.
Huh. Well, I guess you gotta not do that.
No, I don't want to do that. Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's what shopping at the Lowe's is like.
That's because. Well, I realize now the reason why is because I don't have your picture on that particular screen. So my vMix program is going like, well, if Johnny's not in this picture, we obviously don't want to hear him.
If vMix can't see me, it can't hear me.
It can't hear you. That's right. That's right. Johnny is seen but not heard. This way, he's.
If you can't see this, you're not listening.
You're not listening. That's right. That's exactly what it is. I like that. So that's not. You know what? I would put that right up there with the UPS hold music. I'm telling you. That's pretty good.
Yeah. No,
That's pretty good.
I would wait on hold.
Warhawk says, "Is there assistance needed in the funk aisle? Possibly." That's
possibly.
True.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great if a guy person, if a store associate, that's what they call themselves, I think, comes up and says, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you?" And you go, "Hang on a second, Herb." Come back in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Yeah, something like that. That'd be
Pretty
great.
much.
That's
Pretty much.
good.
Yes. So, anyways,
I'm really upset because I've been to both those places several times this week here in California.
And you never heard this.
I did not know Herb was available. I didn't know that was part of the options.
This is what I was groomed to.
I may have to go through with these next time.
Here's the
In the
thing.
deal.
I've heard this song. I didn't know who or what it was. I actually pulled out my phone and Shazammed it while I was standing there looking for washers.
Ah.
So now I can go download purchase a legal copy of it.
Now I have to say, there has to be a little bit of you that was a little bit impressed that Dune knew who that was.
Well, it's certainly right up your alley.
There's actually a story behind this.
Okay.
Here,
I was impressed at how quickly you got it.
funny you should ask. Here's what happened. Well, first of all, I like Herb Alford. So, oh gosh, how long ago was this? This would be in the early 80s. I was at a job, and in the morning, I would listen to NPR because there was a good show on. It was on in the morning.
Listening to NPR?
It was in the early 80s. Shut up.
Okay, fair enough. Dude was listening to NPR. Got it.
At least I'm willing to admit it.
I was just surprised.
Okay.
All right, tell me about this show. This sounds like a good show. If this show was good enough to get dude to tune at NPR, it must be pretty damn good.
It was a good show. I don't even remember the name of
Yeah.
it. But anyway, one of the stories was about Herb Alford in the Tijuana Brass, and about how he, at the time, I guess there was huge records broken by their band of most albums sold, and something you wouldn't think of. It's not quite like the Zamfir flute guy that they say sold more records in some store in Zimbabwe or something. I don't know what it was like that, but
yeah.
So I heard that, and I heard it that morning, and about 2 hours later, I'm listening to another radio station. It's a top 40 station here in town, or in Wichita, and they have a trivia question, and their trivia question was, who sold more albums and whatever? And I'm like, I got this. So I call him up and I tell him Herb Alpert. And the guy goes, and there's like a pause. And he goes, who's that again? I said, Herb Alpert. I said it was he and his band that did that. And the guy said, nope, sorry, next caller, and he hangs up on me. And I realized later, after several people had called, he smoked me because I didn't say and the Tijuana Brass.
Ah.
Yes. So I didn't say Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. So to this day, if I ever find that son of a bitch, yeah.
So
you, me, outside. I may be 50-some years old, but I don't care. I could have got a free Subway sandwich because back then it was Sub and Stuff. Sorry, Sub and Stuff sandwich back then. No Subways back then.
Someone owes you a sandwich.
Somebody owes me a Sub and Stuff, and they're out of business, so it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. So there you go. I want my Sub and Stuff, but.
So
freaking radio guys.
So I think the moral of the story that you're trying to convey to everyone out there is that you should listen to NPR.
No, I don't think that. No, because I think no, that's not the moral of the story.
No,
the moral of the story.
That's what I heard.
Had it not been on NPR, I'd have known it was a Tijuana Brass. That's how I would have known. I'm pretty sure NPR did. I'm pretty sure NPR just glossed right over that fact. That's why I just glossed right over it. That's what it was.
If you were listening to that NPR, you would have had no clue and not even called in.
Okay,
you just need to pay more attention to NPR.
So I'll give you that.
Listen to NPR more. If you listen to NPR more, they would have drilled that and the Tijuana Brass and the Tijuana Brass and the Tijuana Brass.
Absolutely not going the direction I wanted it to go. It's completely. I am walking backwards out the door.
You thought you were telling a story about Herb Alpert, and it turns out you were telling a story about listening to NPR radio.
No. Somewhere on some database right now, somebody's typing Dune, NPR, early '80s. Click. That's what's going on. So
Dune. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you're going to be getting like NPR ads popping up on your Facebook the next
absolutely.
week now.
Are you kidding me? I got an iPad right here, and I got an iPhone right here. That's already in the works. Trust me. It's happening. This is done. They're going to have everything all filled out except the click to accept, and that's one of those things. That's right. Dune Umper, early '80s. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Actually, that was pre-Dune. That's how old that was. That was. That was actually pre-Dune. That was pre-Dune. That was back before Dune was into the dunes. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Damn it, Herb. Herb's still around. Well, I probably miss this. Is this in quad though?
No.
Okay.
Herb only got a few fake quad. Actually, I think that may have been slated for quad and ditched because quad died.
Did I hear fake quad?
Yeah, Whipped Cream and Greatest Hits got released on quad 8-track, but their quad you know the term mono reprocess for stereo?
Yes.
Although this term was never used, let's call it stereo reprocess for quad.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
So yes, the quad 8 tracks of Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass, Whipped Cream and Other Delights, Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass Greatest Hits, are basically stereo reprocess for quad 8 tracks. I do have them, but They're not spectacular.
Now, is that where they use filtering for like highs and lows and then separate it that way? Is that kind of the way it works?
Right. I mean, well, basically, yeah. What I've determined is that the back channel. I don't know if you can hear. You can hear me now, right?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. The back channels are very similar to the front channels. Not exactly the same. Some kind of filtering process, but not that spectacularly different. And they're on a slight delay, so you kind of get a delay wash of sound behind.
Yes, the old boom boxes from years ago had simulated stereo where they would have a delay built in to make it seem like the speakers were farther apart.
Mono reprocessor stereo might put a delay between the two speakers, or it might put EQ'd so that the high ends on one side, low ends on the other, or some combination of those. But and quad is some stuff that's been faked, like Tommy James and Shondel's best of got put on a quad 8-track tape. Some of the songs are true quad mixes, but some of the earlier stuff they didn't have multis to work with, and so it's basically the exact same audio in the front and the back, but the back is on a delay, and it sounds like you're in the worst echo chamber ever. It's awful. And the thing that's the funniest about the best of Tommy James and the Shondells being in quad is that Hanky Panky was released on 45 in mono. The master tape was lost by the time it became a hit because it was on a indie label, and like a year later, a DJ found the record and played it, and it got some following, and so Roulette Records bought the rights to it, and Tommy James had to put a new band together actually, so it's a different band on Hanky Panky than played on all their other things, because the song did nothing at the time they released it on this indie label called Snap Records, and so the master tape was gone. So any version you buy of Hanky Panky is mastered from a 45 that Roulette Records got and recorded in and duplicated. So there's no multi-tracks, and so it's mono reprocessed for stereo, reprocessed for quad.
What could go wrong there? That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I was going to say I did tell my sister the story about going to the Foreigner cover band concert that I did. It sounds a lot like that.
Foreigner
tribute,
yes,
the tribute, yeah, the Foreigner tribute, yeah. It sounds a lot like that. Is what it sounds like to me. But I guess anytime it's funny when there's money involved, they'll figure stuff like that out. That's kind of the way it happens.
You got a record, right? We'll record that in and duplicate that and put a new band together, and it worked for them because Tommy James put together a new Shondells, and they had many hits. But Hanky Panky was completely different guys.
There you go. And did you learn that on NPR though? Probably not.
No. I've known that. I've known it for so long. I don't remember where I first heard it.
You're one of those people that's just smart with things like that. Hey, now I have to ask. I'm looking at your futon now. It's now caught my attention.
Yes.
Is it in chill mode like that for a reason?
It's because futons have this annoying habit of mattresses that won't stay folded into fucking place.
Okay, because it looks like you have it in complete, kickback lounge chill mode, which is okay. I just wondered.
No, it should look more like this.
Okay, I got you.
But once I get the new futon cover, I'm gonna put some Velcro on the bottom of it and some Velcro on the wood frame here, and maybe that will help hold it into place. I got to work it a bit.
Or just have friends over all the time that you could just have.
Yeah,
that. You could
it might work itself out.
I never thought about get on Craigslist. Say I need 2 people to sit on my futon during the show. And Warhawk says they have something called Futon Fix that does that. I'm not. He's probably Futon Flicks.
Futon Fix?
No, Futon Flicks. I thought he was talking about it. He's talking about watching TV on the futon.
Wait. No, I need to know more about this Futon Fix.
No, there isn't. That's. I read it wrong.
Oh,
I thought it was. Yeah. Now I have to ask you, without asking, have you tested the futon?
In what way?
Have you broke in the futon? There we go. Because people might want to know. Just
This futon here is for sitting. I don't know what kinky shit you're talking about.
Hey, this
ain't no swing set, Dune.
People are asking questions. I'm relaying them. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing.
I'm not doing much of anything on this futon because I have no idea what's been done on this cover.
Okay.
This cover is going out in the trash as soon as the real cover comes in.
Oh, but this is not new futon then.
No, this is Craigslist futon.
I did not know that.
I've been filling this house with things from Craigslist.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I got a washer and dryer off of Craigslist. I got this futon for $75 off of Craigslist. Just needs a new futon cover. $30 on Amazon. And I bought a coffee table.
Oh, no way.
You inspired me, Dune. I bought a coffee table that does the flip up thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can use that.
The one that pulls up thing. Yes, those are awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Those are awesome.
And that's going to go in the middle of this room so that I could do shows from this futon. I just need to move the webcam over there, and then put the wireless mouse and keyboard over there, and wheel the mixing board forward a bit, and I'll be set to. There's the new couch for shows.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes. This is part of the reason why I bought a house. The other reason I bought a house is because Gators wants to play duck hunt again. Do you know?
I can only hope that someday you can tell that story to somebody, and or when you're getting ready, maybe when you're getting ready to sell that house, you can tell them that story.
Yeah, I bought this house so I could set up a room with a futon and play duck hunt.
That's exactly
not in the room with the futon, because there's no way I'm carrying a 32-inch Sony Trinitron up the stairs into this room. Let's talk about 32-inch Sony Trinitron
that you got for how much?
Free.
I have no sound effects.
Let's talk about 30.
I can't say ching, but anyway.
Cha-ching. Okay, I don't have cha-ching. But if I brought my sound effects,
don't those weigh like about as much as a small Volkswagen?
No, they weigh as much as a big Volkswagen.
Okay, there we go. I just wondered. So you got that Trinitron, that one.
Here's the thing.
That's the
so
one.
I went on a Craigslist looking for Sony Trinitron because here's the thing. People that are into vintage games typically like to hook up their vintage systems to a vintage TV because it just doesn't look the same. It looks awful on a high def. Now, I've always thought that Nintendo looks pretty good on a high def TV. You can see it pixel perfect for what it is, and it is what it is. I mean, people are like, no, the scan lines hide things. I'm like, no, it looks clear. I mean, I've never been bothered by the look of games on a high def TV. But what bothers me is that the light gun does not work on modern TVs because modern TVs have a lag to them compared to tube TVs. And tube TVs, the light gun technology had to be set up to be timed perfectly to the timing of a TV.
Yes.
And that works fine for any TV that uses that technology.
Now, for the for the younger people, you might have to kind of explain what you're talking about because they may not.
Okay.
They may not really get
Duck
it.
Hunt.
Okay.
So when you play Duck Hunt, it's a game on a Nintendo. If you bought a Nintendo, not when it first launched, but a little while after.
I mean more the technology of the camera and the light kind of thing because that's
right.
Yeah.
Right, but when you pull the trigger for the gun, you're pointing the gun at the TV, aiming at a duck, and you pull the trigger. And you noticed a flash on your TV screen.
Yes.
What's happening is the screen goes black for a frame. There's a few establishing frames because it's detecting if you hit a light spot of the TV. But it's not as simple as that because if you just point the light gun at a light bulb and pull the trigger, it don't work. It needs to see it go to black and white.
We all tried that, by the way.
We all tried that.
Yes, we all did.
So it has to detect a black screen, and then it goes to a screen that puts up a white square in the spot where the target is. Now, if you have two ducks on the screen, it'll do a white square for duck number 1, and then a white square on the next frame for duck number 2, and it can detect the delay before it sees a white square to determine if you were pointing at duck 1 or duck 2 if it sees white. And so it times it perfectly to these frames that blink by with a white square at the right spot. And if it detects that you hit the white square, then, duck goes down. Dog holds it up. If you miss, you get the dog giggling at you. And we all want to shoot that damn dog.
Damn dogs. That's right.
We all want to shoot that dog.
That's right.
They wouldn't let us.
Cartoon dog, by the way. Not the real dog.
Anyways, so modern TVs, because of the difference in timing, do not work with the light gun. And so I started, the TV to get, if you want to do vintage gaming, is a Sony Trinitron. So I start doing, Craigslist searches for Sony Trinitrons. And people who are getting rid of them, most of them, some people are charging 20, 30, 50 bucks for them, because some people know that gamers, they'll give you a little money for it. And they all say,
I would have never known that.
And they all say, bring someone with you to help move it. Translation: I ain't moving this thing out of my house. You move it out of my house.
That's right. It's in the basement. It's all yours.
I found a guy that put up a listing that didn't say bring a friend and was giving it away for free. And so I shoot him an email and go, hey, it's still available? He goes, it's still available. I give him a call and I'm like, now originally I was trying to line something up for the same weekend Seth came to help me move so I could bring Seth with me and go, oh, by the way, I need to help me move a 32-inch Sony Trinitron.
And then your ex-friend Seth would have said, yeah, no.
He used to work for an audio-video installation place. He's moved heavy TVs.
There we go.
He's got stories about moving heavy TVs. Although when I text him about it, we'll get to that. He said, I never moved one that big. But the other thing is it was of the vintage where they suck the screen flat, and those are heavier, in my experience, than the curved ones. I don't know why, but they are. So I call the guy, and he goes, yeah, it's still here, and you come by and pick it up. You got enough room in your car? Oh, that won't be a problem. The only thing is can you give me a hand getting in the car? Yeah, I can give you a hand getting in the car. I felt so bad. The looks of pain this guy made while we were struggling with this TV, I felt like I was killing an old man.
Oh, no. John.
Well, he had some gray going on. He wasn't old, not wrinkles, but I mean, he looked...
Was he?
Yeah. A little more gray than you.
Okay.
Maybe he's about 5 years older than you. He was ready to keel over dead by the time we got this thing in my car.
Okay.
No, this guy was... we put the TV down in the back of my car, and after the looks I saw, I'm like, I'm going to try to lift it up into the car myself. He goes, oh, no, you can't. I'm like, you are in pain. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm not fighting with you because I don't really even know if I can lift it, and we just got to get it up and in there. But it was in the second floor, so we had to get it down the steps. And then we had to get it out. Then we had to get it to the car.
So give me an idea, measurement-wise, what are we looking at? Because I really don't know of one that big.
Well, it's 32 inches diagonal, 4:3 ratio.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, you've seen like a 32 or a 35. You've seen what a 27-inch TV looks like, probably. That was kind of like the generic size.
The TV in my room is probably about that size. But I'm just trying to think of how far back we're talking.
Oh, well, yeah, it's pretty fucking deep. Yeah. It's And the thing is that not only is it heavy, but all the weight is in the front.
Yes.
So the end you don't want to touch the ground is the end that's trying to get to the ground.
Yes. That's right. That makes total sense.
So now here's the thing. I had help getting in the car, and I drive it home, and I come in, and I go, well, I got a big-ass TV that weighs a ton in the back of my car. Kristen's like, I'll do the best I can. I said, no, I forbid you from even trying to move that thing. And she said, oh, okay. I didn't have to talk her into that.
I like that. She was like,
no problem.
Gotcha.
I forbid you from touching.
That's right.
I'm not going to kill you
Jonny,
with a TV.
This is your one and only time you get to say I forbid you. And you used it up. It's gone forever.
I think I chose wisely.
I just want you to know that one's been torn out of the coupon book, and no longer
You know
exists. So there you go.
If using my one forbid spares my wife from lots of pain and potential death,
I think that's a good thing.
I did well.
I think that's a good thing.
I think I put my one forbid to good use.
I think if she shows up, if she shows up driving a Corvette tomorrow, so be it. Okay.
Here's the thing, though. I did it in the car because Seth's not coming down until the last weekend in April, and I need to move stuff around still. So the TV can't stay in the car. So I was like, all right, let's see what I can do with it by myself, because I got a dolly, and yes. I made the mistake of buying the $30 dolly instead of the $60 dolly. Don't do that. Buy the $60 dolly. You need the big tires.
You know, if I had a choice between the $30 and $60 dolly, you know what Dune would do, don't you?
You'd buy a scaffolding and say, "Fuck you and your dolly."
He'd go to a different store and buy the $120 dolly. Just letting you know. just wanted to make sure people understood where that came from.
And I have money left for beer, so
nobody likes you. Did you know that? We took a poll. Nobody likes Johnny. I may have to put that on the screen. Nobody.
Hashtag fake news. Fake poll.
I can fix this. I can fix this. Go ahead. Keep
you can
talking.
Fix this. All right. So yes, if you buy a dolly with small wheels, you'll never get anything up and downstairs with it. You got to get the big inflated tires. And I chose poorly, and I've learned my lesson. Unfortunately, I didn't hold on to the receipt, and I've gotten mud on the tires, so I can't exchange it. Anyways, but I got the TV out of the car onto the driveway behind the car. And from there, I was able to get it on the dolly, but I couldn't get up the steps with the dolly. And so I wheeled it behind the house next to the basement door, put a blanket over it, and said, well, I guess that's where it's going to live for a while. And I actually left it out there for a few hours, and then I decided, no, I can't. I gotta get it in the house. And so I managed. You know what? It looked pristine when I picked it up, and it looks almost pristine now. Because I managed it.
I like that term.
You could kind of. Well, I had it kind of leveraged on. I had it on the dolly. I leaned the dolly up over the steps. So I had like a ramp to kind of push it up, and it did a little rotating, and at some point it slipped and came slam down on the bottom. And so I got two indents on the top where it hit the bars of the dolly as it dropped. But I managed up the stair to the doorway, and there's a little rug in the doorway where you first walk in, a little piece of scrap carpet. I got it on there. And from there, I could slide across the floor without leaving scuff marks everywhere. And so now it's in my dining room. At some point, it needs to go up on a TV stand, and that'll happen when Seth's here. Yeah.
There you go.
But it's sitting on the floor right now, within distance of a plug outlet. And yes, Duck Hunt works on it. And yes, it has composite input, S-video input, and component input. So I can hook the PlayStation 2 up to it with the component inputs.
So this
tube TV with component input, awesome stuff.
You are a party animal, Johnny.
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
I bought this house,
and I fixed the screen for you. By the way, I don't know if you noticed.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Just in case you wondered. Just in case you wondered.
All right, we need everyone listening right now to tweet in now. Hey, I like Johnny. Come on, Chuckle Bump. You got to be out there listening.
Chuckle Bump's
we all
be
know
out there.
Chuckle Bump wants her some of this.
That's right. She oh, I was going to say.
Now we find out if Chuckle
I was going to say she wants the Johnny sandwich, but I think that just sounds strange. That just sounds weird. I don't know what
that reminds me. That reminds me of a Spring Break episode of Jerry Springer, and it's one of these things that Spring Break on MTV happened a different week that my school had Spring Break.
I noticed that it always did. Every time you would watch those things, it's I guess the cool people had different times than we did.
Because I'm here watching people on Spring Break on MTV while I have classes that week. And Jerry Springer's there on the beach at Cancun hosting an episode of the Jerry Springer Show, MTV Spring Break. And he decided he's going to have people in the audience tell him their fantasies, and they'll make it happen. And I don't know if they paid her to say this or if this was honestly her fantasy, but she had some kind of fantasy. This and of course, she's a hot chick in a bikini because all girls in Cancun in spring break.
That's the way that works.
Those are the only ones they let on.
I was going to say,
TV.
I think the rest of them may just turn you around and go, nah, behind the rope.
Yeah,
pretty much.
MTV would never lie to me. Hot chicks all over the beach that all want to have sex with as many guys as they want to.
Absolutely,
and
100%.
All you got to do is get to Cancun, and you're swimming in babes
that
all want to have sex with you.
That's right.
And booze and no hangovers. So,
absolutely,
TV would not lie to us.
That's the way it works.
She has some kind of fantasy of being in a burrito with hot guys. And so they roll out this big flour tortilla.
Okay.
They lie her down in it. They dump like buckets of refried beans and enchilada sauce and sour cream and guac and get these guys in Speedos to lay on top of her in this mess of stuff. And wrap up the tortilla. So you talk about the Jonny sandwich. That kind of reminds me of the Babe and
the
Speedo guy.
Yes, the burrito, yes.
Burrito.
The Babe and a burrito.
Yes.
Now, I have to wonder.
And it was weird. It was really weird.
I have to wonder, how many guys do you think they went through before they got two that would agree to that? Two?
I'm thinking two, yeah.
Yeah, two. I'm thinking so.
That's how many guys they had in the burrito. That's how many guys they had to ask.
We're going to go with two. That's exactly what we're going to say.
We want you to sit, to lie down with this girl. You're going to cover me with what? Oh, wait, her? I don't cover me with whatever you want.
Sharkasack says 10, but I'm thinking you might have heard my question wrong. Is how many guys turned it down? Not how many guys did the girls say no, yes, no. What? Oh my God! I just had a flashback. What movie was that from? Was that what was the Mel Brooks movie with the about the Bible? What the heck was that called? Wasn't there there was a Mel Brooks movie where there was a queen that was choosing her men for the night, and she was singing the no, yes, no. History of the World. Thank you, Warhawk. History of the World.
Okay. I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
I'll have to see if I can find that. Well, I can't play that clip. I'm not set up for it. But yeah, that was an interesting clip. Holy Moses, yes. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. And I can't think of that lady's name though. But that's what she was. They basically brought in all of the guards that were only dressed from the waist up, and she was choosing them and singing no, yes, no, yes. There we go. Now you have to bring it up. I'll have to.
This reminds me of which periodical was it that had the funny comics in it? Was it Playboy or Penthouse? I think Penthouse had a lot of comics in it.
Possibly. That's what
and I remember a comic where there was like a seal sitting in front of a bunch of bicycle horns that were, tuned to different notes, and the girl's like thinking about a line of guy. Never mind. Anyways, I think we got more tweets coming in.
History of do we?
Yeah, Custodial writes in, sex frenzy at Johnny's new house. Let's make this happen. No, let's not.
Here we go. You know what? I found it.
You found it?
I found it. I wonder, will it
play? Maybe you need to send me the link. Oh wait, I can't screen share on this.
I can do this.
Oh, you can. But we have no sound.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Nope.
I can hear it.
We don't hear what you hear. Oh, but we see butt cheeks.
Okay. She says very nice selection.
Very nice.
She's going to start on this end. And this guy has no pants. Yes. No. Yes. No. I can't do this. This sounds weird. If I do it.
Yeah. This does sound weird.
If I'm saying it, but she's saying yes and no. Yeah.
She only has one thing that she's judging on, though. I mean, I guess she's really excited now. And there's more dialogue happening. And
yes,
off
and
they
then,
go,
and off they
flopping
go,
into the
and,
night.
and she's just, everything's good. So there, she's ready for her. She's ready for her big night.
Yeah.
There you go. At least maybe that'll keep me from getting busted for this episode.
Now Venison has some suggestions. Venison, I don't think approves of the refried beans and the sauce.
Okay,
he has another suggestion.
So Sex Frenzy, Johnny's, what's this now? Oh,
That's,
Sex Frenzy at Johnny's new house. Okay,
that's custodial. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's
refried beans and sauce. Wow, better than just oil and rubber sheets. Should have thought of that. No, Venison likes the idea.
Now actually, this guy is not a guy, but we won't talk about that. That's a.
Wait, you know who this guy is?
It's a retweet program.
Oh, okay.
If you go to his profile, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at these tweets.
Oh, I haven't looked deep enough then, because that guy's been tweeting me and Addie lately.
Yes. Gee. That's very odd that you would bring up that name. Maybe that's the answer to why.
I asked Addie, "Is that you?" And he assured me that no, it wasn't. That should have been my first clue.
That should have been your first clue.
That should have been my first clue.
Absolute first clue.
If Addie says no, it's not me, then it's probably him.
It's probably him. That's right.
It's probably.
It was either him or this guy.
And it's not that guy.
And it's not this guy right here. It's not him. No. So there you go.
Wait, where do I'm on the account here, but I don't know what I'm looking for because it's not showing me.
Just look
I'm using the Twitter app.
Look at his tweets, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, I see a bunch of like random characters, and I don't know what that's all about. It's kind of weird. I never understood why this guy tweeted a bunch of random things and then started tweeting me.
How do you choose where to send the sound on Firefox? Is there a way to do that?
No. Browsers don't let you do that.
You can't.
You got to have software that does that.
Damn it.
Speaking of Addy, he makes an observation.
I actually have that software, but anyway, go ahead. So what now?
Well, it went off the screen, but basically, Addy was talking about he's tuning for the first time in months, and he tunes into Dune ogling guys without pants.
Of course.
Of course. Speaking of guys without pants, Addy used to send me pictures.
Okay, it just got weird. It just got weird, Johnny. You can't.
And that's why Addy's still blocked on this phone.
Has he sent you pictures since? Is that what you're saying?
No. We know where the line is, and we know what's going to get perma-blocked. Is if I see any pictures of guys without pants, I ain't looking at block.
Yes. It's like no, and no.
You know, it's like
what you're saying.
One thing I learned about Addy and Gabe is that Gabe puts up with a lot, but he has his limits, and he's set a boundary, and so it is possible to do.
That's true. Didn't like that.
So you're saying this custodial person is Addy?
It's a program that you can have do this.
Okay.
Look, do you see his tweets?
Yeah, I see the tweets are like random characters.
Yes.
But I can't make sense of it.
Well, it's a program that retweets. And I don't know exactly. I haven't looked in to see exactly how it works, but that's how it works.
What am I looking for here? Because I don't see.
Well, that's what it is. Is you go to a website and tell it what you want to tweet, and then it sends that command to it, and then it sends a tweet out.
Okay. Well, how did you?
It's hard to. Somebody because I showed it to somebody. They told me.
Oh, okay. We need to talk. All right, so that's who that is. That makes sense.
Yeah, because unless you think a dude that's a custodian sits around, and and does that.
And tweets. No, I thought it was totally a custodian that was, a fan of my show.
No.
No,
So let's see.
So
Johnny only likes it when 5 Dudes shows him videos of guys without pants. Well, he likes other things, but that's on the top of the list. That's okay. We're not haters. Tune in the first time in months, and Dune is ongoing about men without pants.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
oogling.
already read that.
I don't know if the oogling.
Yeah, that's the one I already read. Do you not
Oogling.
pay attention when I read the tweets?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I use this account to spam Twitter for Bitcoin. There you go. There you go.
Wait, how do you get Bitcoin from tweeting random characters?
You know what? I don't know. The same reason, the same way you buy Bitcoin and then tell somebody you bought Bitcoin and then ends up you didn't buy Bitcoin. That kind of thing. No.
It's that kind of Bitcoin. It's the imaginary kind of Bitcoin.
It's the imaginary Bitcoin. It's the best kind of Bitcoin. It's sort of like the Bitcoin I wished I had when I would have sold when my Bitcoin was at $3,000. That's when I should have sold. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh well. Life goes on. But you know what? The custodian guy wants Addy and Gabe Show to come back.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Well, I want the Addy and Gabe Show to come back.
I think we all do, in a way. We at least want the Gabe. You know what the thing is though, Addy? Addy, there's a problem though. You know what? Johnny and I, we're not in good with Fredericktown Yamaha. We're a little pissed at them right now.
The fun don't begin there.
It don't begin there.
Not on Sundays.
Not on Sundays. There is no fun.
They're closed on Sundays.
There is no fun at Fredericktown Yamaha on Sundays.
And they've not returned one of our calls.
Not a
We've
single
left them
call.
voicemails.
Several of them. We went to every extension they had and left a voicemail. Nothing.
Yeah.
We dropped.
No callbacks.
We dropped your name. We dropped Gabe's name. We even talked about baby Jesus. Nothing.
We did.
Nothing.
No.
I just,
Nothing.
You know what? They are dead to me.
Fun don't begin there anymore.
No fun.
No fun in Fredericktown Yamaha.
We're going to JoJo's Moped Palace.
That's where we're going.
That's right. That's where it is. All kinds of fun there.
That's where the fun begins now.
That's right. JoJo's Moped Palace.
JoJo's Moped Palace. Yes.
So just want you to know that. Now maybe you can smooth things over with them. You might talk to them. You bring the show back, see what they can do. But until then,
no fun to be had there.
Yamaha, not happening. Not happening.
No. So, well, I should have known there was trouble because I have a Yamaha receiver downstairs and the HDMI ports don't work on it anymore.
There you go.
There's no fun about that.
Now, Chris Wolf Antiques. I don't think I know what he's talking about there. Is that a code word for
Chris Wolf
something?
Antiques. Yes, it's a cut above the rest.
Ah, okay. Now, are they on Sundays open?
I don't know.
Well, we don't have time to check. We may have to check because that's really what it boils down to. If you just don't think you have to be having fun on Sundays.
You know what?
I'm not that guy.
Before we talk about Chris Wolf Antiques, let's talk about obsolete hardware that I can't use anymore. Because I know that's Addy's very favorite topic. He loves it when I talk about old obsolete hardware that don't work no more.
You know what? He does. He absolutely does.
Because I threw out 3 boxes of shit, but I held on to 3 pieces of computer hardware that I have no use for anymore, will never use again, but I could not bring myself to part with them. And I think these 3 pieces of hardware are things that old-time listeners of the Amateur Hour would appreciate. So these are the 3 things I could not part with. Absolutely could not part with. My Turtle Beach Santa Cruz sound card, the Aardvark Direct Pro sound card, and my ATI All-in-Wonder Pro video card for an AGP slot. And I mean, those 2 sound cards, the Turtle Beach Santa Cruz card, that was my sound card on my computer from before I started the show up until I got off of Windows XP. And and the Aardvark sound card was involved in the show for many years up until I got off of Windows XP. And the Aardvark card was very quirky, and the earliest days of the amateur hour, that was my mixer. That card had 4 inputs, and I was running microphones directly into that, and my cassette deck rigged to be a phone patch directly into it, and using the faders up on the screen as my virtual mixer. I didn't have a mixing board for the earliest shows. It wasn't until sometime when I was on DEF CON that we grabbed Seth's 4-track out of storage and started running and used that as a 4-channel mixing board. So yeah, I could not. I have no use for them. I'll never use them again. But I couldn't part with them, and I don't know what should I do with them. I mean, should I just? Because at this point they've been kept in a box for years, just because I can't part with them. But they just sit in the box doing nothing, and they're probably like, Addy says he's tuning out because the sermons are getting.
Yes, sermons getting ready to go on. That's true.
You know what? If that guy ever set foot in the church, just saying,
the whole country would burst into flames. It wouldn't be just him. It wouldn't be just
spontaneous combustion.
That's right. The whole it would be
get out of my house.
It would be done for all of us. All of us it would be done for.
Don't let that guy set foot in my house.
That's right. Now here we'll see if this works. I've actually let me refresh this.
Bad enough he was lit on Christian radio.
That's true. That's true.
Which that brings a little joy into my heart that the Addy Game Show was on a Christian AM station.
That's right. But you know what? It was very informative because you learned about all kinds of things, God, and tomatoes, all the above,
and cars.
And that's right. I forgot about cars. I forgot about that.
And Crystal Antiques.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I screwed up. Damn it!
You screwed up.
I screwed up. I will fix this. I will fix.
We've not been streaming this whole time.
No. We've been streaming. We've been streaming. I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I was trying to assist you. Is what I was trying.
You're trying
to
assist me.
I was going for the assist.
There was something that was going to assist me, and it's not happened. I'm sitting here all by myself and assistless.
Yeah, there was assistless going on there. That's right. Is that a word?
So anyways, I mean, what do I do with these pieces of hardware? Should I actually build an XP machine to put them in, and then what? Or do I just keep them?
That's something I was going to ask you.
I can't throw them out.
Could you build? Could you just have a Windows 10 box and run it virtually? Will it let you do that?
Oh no! Virtual's not going to recognize a PCI card.
There it is.
No.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, there's the aardvark.
And it's
an aardvark, and I suck.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that song goes.
I don't think that's how it goes. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up because everybody wanted to see it. So there you go.
And you could easily identify any show that uses the aardvark card. I gotta get over here
so you can see me. There we go.
It is real easy to identify a show that uses the aardvark card, because the aardvark card had a very annoying habit of stuttering every time I minimized or maximized a window.
Do you have any examples of this anymore? Because not to be confused with the example of the 5 terabyte drive.
The 5 terabyte.
Yeah, totally different example.
All right, let's. I don't know if I can easily find on the spot. Let's see.
Well, I didn't know if you made a spoof about it or anything like that.
No, I never made a spoof about it. But if I bring up an old show, we might hear some stuttering at some point. So let's bring up like September 4th, 2006, and see what happens. Oh, no, that's a telethon show. Let's not bring that up. Let's bring up.
What could go wrong there?
What could go wrong? Let's bring up. Let's see. Let's bring up. Oh well, actually, that would mean I came back after them. Let's bring up November. No, that's the best of the DEF CON era. No, so that means I'm on a cassette thing. Well, but I was still running it into the aardvark. All right, let's try. Let's see if we can get anything working here.
You have no neighbors.
Do we have a neighbor?
Hello, neighbor.
Just say yes.
We do have neighbors, but I don't think they're in the mafia.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Gators, I've got to run. Carlos needs to use my.
Hey,
Carlos needs to use his computer, so I got to run.
Yeah, pick it a piece.
Pick it a piece.
such great audio back in the day.
Someone slide on them and leave.
Yes.
Suddenly from like.
We always were talking on top of each other.
You live within 10 minutes of 3 different highways.
Because this
Right?
is back in the days
Cerrone
of,
writes in. When I moved to Jersey, when I moved to Jersey, I studied.
Ventrilo.
Yeah, Ventrilo, I think was. Well, actually, I think we had like Dark Elf on Skype, and we had Genocide Rob on Skype too.
Yes. Actually, one time I pulled into a gas station at Jersey, and there was no towel head in sight. So I decided, well, fuck this. I'm pumping my own gas. I'm there, grabbing the nozzle, starting to put it in the tank, and the towel head shows up.
Okay, I don't necessarily like the language I'm using here. I was Genocide Rob started the term, and I was drinking, so I followed suit. I have nothing against people that wear particular types of clothing. So moving right along to, let's see if we can find other examples of the stuttering, because that I wasn't moving windows while making a bunch of racials.
Hopefully that one guy whose name starts with A and ends with Daddy won't have that. Just
like
say
a museum where they have like travel through the human heart kind of thing to see how it's broken.
Yeah, the last broadcast machine got hammered to death.
Oh, this was...
Yeah, well, see, there's a problem. I don't have the money to buy a new machine. And considering it's like, I mean, it's a pretty, well, not by today's standards, but it's a pretty...
I think at some point I tried to avoid moving windows while hosting, so I can't on command find. It felt to me like every 5 seconds there was a stutter in a show. But when I go back and listen to the audio, I can't find them if I'm looking for them. But yeah, every time I minimize or maximize the window, it stuttered the audio.
It's still not. I was going to say, if you could get copies of that,
yeah, and
then also the 5 terabyte drive effect, I think that would be perfect.
What's the 5?
Yeah,
those drives.
Those drives, yes.
Those drives
those
that would take forever to spin up.
Those awesome drives that somebody was nice enough to turn you on to on Woot one day.
Yes, thank you. They're both dead now. they died horrible slow deaths.
They've both passed on.
They have both given up the ghost.
I did not know that happened.
They were used purely as backup drives, and one day I didn't have backup for 5 terabytes of stuff, and then the next day I didn't have backup for another 5 terabytes of stuff. And but I bought other drives, and there we go.
That is too bad. That is too bad. We'll have to say a little something for me because I will miss those because that's it. There it is. That was it.
It was a really slow drive.
Yeah.
This is the 5-minute version.
Because if I remember right, it would do that like 4 or 5 times and then finally finish, wouldn't it? Is that the way it works?
Right. Yeah. Let's see. I think this is the one that's more like the.
Yeah.
That was.
See, I love that. That's just great. That makes me happy. That Johnny, that brings me joy.
See, this is what it's supposed to sound like. This is what Dune's recommended hard drive did.
I think mine's clearly better. I think it's clearly better.
But it did that for every sound.
There's no pleasing, you see. There's just no pleasing. And they oh wow. And of course they both didn't live very long, so they turned out to be well worth their money, obviously. Hey, by the way, the large hard drives that I bought, the 3 for backup, are still sitting nicely in the box at my house. I still have not broke them out yet.
You know, for a number of years, they sat there backing up data on drives that outlived them. Mm-hmm. So one way to look at it is they served no purpose, and if I didn't have them, things would be the same now. But the other thing is that you always want to have backups just in case. And so for a certain number of years, they served the purpose of making me feel better that my data was secure. Because chances are they weren't both going to die at the same time.
See, you never would have those clips, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, we would have never experienced this if it weren't for those drives. That's really the biggest effect they had on us. But they also helped me sleep at night.
There we go. So that's a good thing.
Well, there was a period of time that they were my main drives, and then I just turned them into backup drives, and got rid. And I had to make this sound because I phased those out within the first few months of having them. I was like, "Fuck this shit."
It's like it's not happening.
So
I do have to. So, yeah, somebody did write on Facebook on YouTube and asked why I was doing watching something with somebody with no pants. I can't answer that question.
You just slipped and fell.
I slipped and fell,
and your hand hit the keyboard,
and it landed on a video with a guy, not just a guy. I mean, Jonny has.
Okay.
You have a video. You have a record album with a bunch of guys like that.
Yeah, but they're only pictured from above the waist.
Yes. So
the 5 naked men. Yeah, we all remember that moment.
Yeah,
the 5 naked men moment of the amateur hour. Let's see if we can find that clip. Here it is.
Findir, are you in the stick cam room by any chance?
No, I could be if you really wanted.
Well, I just wanted to show you the album cover of this Dollar Bin special here, because we got like 5.
And we'd like you to describe it as an impartial judge.
Fine. I'll fucking load stick in.
He's gonna be pissed at us when he loads stick cam just to see this.
I'm like trying to do other things and everything's lagged up because servers suck ass.
Yeah,
let's sit here and do nothing while we wait for a server to catch the fuck up because it needs to be started.
And anyone else that feels to comment on this cover.
Yes, we got the cover up in the stick cam, and we'll start describing it.
I'm going to comment on it right now.
He's so harsh.
Yes?
That's a great looking cover, Gators.
You like this cover?
I like that cover.
Damon liked the color. I like that. Damon liked
I
it.
love the colors, how they all run together.
Oh,
it's so square.
Oh, they run together all right.
The color. And the cover is so square. That's a perfect square, God. I've never seen a more perfect square for an album cover in my life. Of all the album covers I've seen, that is the squarest album cover.
Damon.
Yeah.
You're saying that you think this is a perfect album cover?
Yes. I have no idea what the fuck it is, but it's perfect.
Okay.
What I think it is.
Gators, do you want me to describe it?
Yes, why don't you describe it for us, Findir?
I want to hear what this. I want to hear about this masterpiece of album art, the perfect album cover that must be used on all albums. Go.
Here we go.
It's 5 naked men.
That's a horrible album cover. What the hell? Who designed this crap? This looks better. This would look better if I took a shit on it.
And 2 of them have beards like gators, which confused me at first. I was like, "Holy shit!" Gators naked.
Actually, I think there's 3.
There's 3 beards on the cover.
Oh no, sorry. So there is. I'm sorry.
Hey,
right,
They're wearing underwear.
That's a terrible album cover. Horrible.
I can't see any waistbands, so I can only assume no, they're naked.
and then, you know what? The back of the cover is great too.
Here, back over here again.
The guys are still naked on the back.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Jonny. This is a problem.
A perverse album
Very
cover.
glad that, everybody agrees with you. This is such a great album cover.
And the thing is,
I
would not buy this
This
album.
is a great frame.
There it is. That's 5 naked men.
I don't like
that
this
not
because
5 naked men?
I have a problem with this because if I do this, it makes it look like I'm looking at them.
It makes it look like you're hiding behind 5 naked men.
This is
You're
not
looking
where,
at them from behind.
That's not where I wanted to go here, Jonny. It wasn't. that wasn't.
You'd rather be in front of the naked men?
Well,
is that what you're?
You know what? This is an interesting conundrum. This is. You have to stop.
Yes. And they're all.
Let's take
so
a poll.
happy.
Let's take a poll. Would you people
Okay.
in the chat room rather be behind or in front of said dudes?
The 5 naked men.
with well, most of them have beards. One has that little whatever thing he is.
And do you
one
know
one dude has a landing strip there. That just happened. let that sink in. Yeah, there we go.
And here's the funny thing. When we cover Dollar Bin Specials, the only reason we covered that album was for the cover, and so we played a bit of the first song on side 1 and moved on, and completely oblivious to the fact that side 2 started with this.
Wow.
So yes, if you wanted to buy the album with this classic hit on it, you had to buy a cover with 5 naked men. Makes you look at this song a whole different way now.
It does. Let's see if I slide. Let's see if I can slide this over. Oops. I didn't realize that was a song that was on there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time until afterwards. And I do not still have this album. I sold it in California before moving back, and Emily insists that I should have kept it, that I should replace it. Every time I find another copy of it, I send a picture of it to Emily and say, still not buying another copy.
Oh, now see, Shark Attack in the Room likes the dudes on the cover. Now they don't quite look. I'm guessing they don't quite look like that right now. Just so you know.
No. Now
So you know.
I see. Do you want to talk about the holes in my wall now?
Well, if you got 4 minutes, you can tell them quickly.
So yes, I use the stud finder, the cheapest one you could buy on Amazon.
You know, okay, you're talking about a stud finder, by the way. You know, anybody who just now tunes in, they're going to see a stud finder and 5 naked guys. just so you know.
Well, that's okay, because the point of the story is either way this works, because that stud finder don't work. So,
there we go.
As you can see by the 4 holes,
yes,
in a row,
yes,
1 out of 4 is not what I was shooting for. But
some guys are happy with 2. Jonny takes 4. Just let that sink in.
I got plaster walls, which means that stud finders don't work too well on them. So I'm sweeping the stud finder, and it tells me there's a stud over here. I'm kind of knocking. I'm thinking, okay, I think that's where the stud is. And I drill. Nope. No stud.
And I'm pretty sure I told you to drill a really small hole. Those don't look like really small holes. Just saying. Just.
Well, well, your advice was taken into consideration, and I was pretty sure I found it. But then also, sometimes it told me that there was a stud everywhere along the whole wall, and sometimes it told me I had no studs. So I have miracle walls. A miracle has been performed on this house.
Yes.
And I don't know what I need to do about that. And then also, anywhere I wanted to drill, it told me there was a power line. So I think there's like a whole grid of power lines behind this entire wall.
Yes, that's what we've come to decide. Yes.
Yeah, but no. So Dune basically, after hole number 1, Dune said you got your wire coat hanger, and Kristen had a spool of bendable thick wire, and so I went in there and I went boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, I think it's right about there, and I overshot the stud, and that's where hole number 2 came in. I forget why I drilled hole number 3 where I did. But for some reason, I thought hole number 3 was also going to help me, but that didn't.
Yes.
But then finally, but you know what it was? Hole number what was it? No. All right, the hole all the way to the left is the first hole. Hole number 2 from the left is the right hole. Hole number 3 from the left, that was the second hole I drilled. No, that was the third draw. The one all the way to the right, I think, was the... No, I don't know. At some point, I was able to zero in between both sides of the beam that hole number 2 was the one to drill. And then I found 16... what is it? 16 inches? Or... Yeah, 16 inches to the left of the hole that hit the stud was another stud. And I didn't hit power either time.
Too many holes,
And
that's
so,
right.
too many. Well, they're behind the TV.
No, it's fine.
That was the other.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
And I now know that this room was at one time green and at another time red. Why do I know that? A, the futon tore up that wall, and B, the TV, while I was trying to get on the wall, tore up that wall. So so much for brand new paint job. I need to get some touch-up paint now.
Yes.
Don't you love it when you drop $240,000 on the house and then you start tearing up the walls and making it look like crap?
That's just the way it works. That's all part of it.
I wasn't even in here a week, and already I'm scratching up the walls. Oh, God.
Well, it could be worse. Let's see, John Warhawk says, good thing this show is not recorded or would have a heck of a time editing isolations. Yeah.
Wait, you're not recording this?
Well, he may be. I'm not. Actually,
you streaming?
What's on YouTube?
You're streaming to YouTube, right?
Well, and 17 other different places that probably record. So
but YouTube archives it is what I'm getting at.
Yes, it's there.
YouTube, you can replay it. Those other places, it's gone. But YouTube, you can YouTube's not recording.
It is.
You're going to download that when you get home, right?
Oh, absolutely not. That's right.
You don't still try to keep every episode ever?
Oh no, I do. I'll bring it down in audio and keep it.
All right.
Oh man, well it's about that time, and I just realized something. I did not eat.
I just realized there's a reason why you're not playing the music.
I did not eat lunch today.
Did you have dinner?
No, that's what I'm waiting for now.
Oh, it's 5. You know what? It's time to order a pizza.
It's 5.
Oh wait, you're in California.
Well, but actually,
yeah. By the way, you order pizza in California, you're required to like 5 different toppings. Something like a rule, I think.
You have to have 5 different toppings. You say?
Every time I've seen people order pizza in California, they order like tons of toppings. You know what? Find yourself an In-N-Out burger.
I've had those. Those are good. Those are good.
Yeah, there you go.
Those
are
bad.
good.
There's a couple of good places. There's a Pete's Brew House not too far away, within walking distance. I do have Red Robin not too far away.
Oh, there you go.
There's a Mexican restaurant. I know that shocks you.
Oh, there you go. There's a good option.
There's a good option. What else? All kinds of places. Not to mention I have to have something to get ready for my drive tonight. So Johnny's searching for the ending. There we go.
There we go.
It sounds so much better in mono too.
There you go. It's stereo for me, so
that's all that matters.
Sucks to be all of you.
That's right.
Sounds good to me. That's all that matters.
He said, "Oh, no." Warhawk says, "Too bad Dune's not in L.A. There's all kinds of Korean barbecues." See, now you got me hungry for Korean barbecue.
I think there's Korean barbecue in the Bay Area.
Oh, there probably is. I just don't know if there's within walking distance though.
Oh, you're looking for walking.
I don't have a car.
Well, yeah.
So at the moment.
No, the brew house works great because
I had a car. Somebody else is in it at the moment, so I don't have it.
No, I tell you, one of the greatest meals I had on a business trip was when I went to Baltimore. There was like this German brew house, like a block away from the hotel I was staying at, and it was winter and cold, and I had 3 mugs of dark beer, and I felt like I had 6 by the end of that dinner. Because the place I work for now, they'll pay for your beer. They don't care. Some places, they want you to pay for your alcohol, and they'll pay for the rest. But no, this place, just give them the bill, they'll pay it. So every time they asked me, "Would you like another beer?" it was like, I ain't paying for this. Yeah, bring another beer on.
It's right. Why not?
After the 3rd beer, I was like, oh, I gotta walk.
Block. So far this Pete's place, the beer's been strong enough. I've never got past number 1. They have the tall ones, and that's as far as but Night Rider Stout. That's what I've had.
There you go. We found your dinner.
Very good.
You might even get a little food with that.
Well, I have to drive tonight, so I can't do that. I have
to. That's a bummer.
But I got a whole week to make up for it. A whole week.
That sucks. You got to drive tonight.
Yes. Yeah. Oh well.
All right.
It happens. It happens. Well, listen. The important thing, though, I don't know how much time we have left, but we need to talk about tomorrow's show, if there's going to be one.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. I guess I should do a show tomorrow. I still got tons of shit to do. Yeah. No, you know what? As long as because I'm thinking to myself, I need to bring over like a few bins of records every day this week because I want the whole record collection over here by the end of next week. And
how much stuff?
In fact, I really want everything.
How much stuff and how much time do you have left?
I've got till the end of the month.
Okay.
So I've got. In reality, I've got 2 more weekends, and Seth's coming the last weekend. But I'm hoping that visit's going to be more about fixing stuff up around this house because he's good at running wires and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'll come back the end of the month to help you, run the stereo cables and stuff like that. So I really don't want Seth to come here and help move more shit around. So I really want to, but I got like a whole lot of records and 78s and air conditioning units and one of my radios and a few small radios and all of Addie's bootleg cassettes. Those might go in the trash. I don't know. I might just put the whole collection up on eBay and see if anyone bids. I don't know. I don't need them. What do I want them for? Actually, he sent them to Kristen with a creepy note. But
we need to talk about that tomorrow then, if that's the case.
We best not.
Okay.
Anyways, so tune in tomorrow for that show and 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Yes, 8 p.m. And I need to find the second file that comes after this.
Well, if you don't. Can you find it?
There it is.
There it is.
So, anything else you want to say, dude?
No, take care, people.
Everything stuck.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Just blow this joint.
It's time to blast off for Dreamland. Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Let's call it a day. Everybody, go home.
Good night, lady.
See you later, alligator.
Go in peace, sin no more. I'm out of here.
Now, run along and play with your little toys.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse.
Please come again.
I have exorcised the demon.
This house is clear.
Not.
We are leaving.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Oi, shoot the radio.
That worked out really good.